And we can have a window array that looks out to the water. Okay, Jeanette, I'm just going to have you start off if you're okay with that, just in case you need to hop off and start your next call. And then Crystal, you and I can take it after that, or Chrissy when she gets on here. So this is Jeanette, for those of you that don't know. Full-time lawyer and mommy. And a Monate girl, she does it all. And she was at the meeting yesterday, and it was absolutely amazing. And we all had a million takeaways, but we're all going to try to keep it under 10 minutes. If you guys have questions with what we're talking about, just please put them in the comments and we'll address all of the questions. Also, I turned on Spanish translation, but you'll still have to click on it and pick your the translation that you want. So just make sure that it's correct on there so everybody can understand what we're saying. And again, any questions, please let us know. We can stop and answer all of your questions. All right, so go ahead, Jeanette, when you are ready. Oh, Chrissy's on here. Let me get her co-host. And then I'm going to read Jess's takeaways because she is on here, or going to be on here, but she is in school right now. Okay. And just to add a little bit more pressure, this is on YouTube Live, okay? Just so that we have a place for it. So if you want to send it later, it's going to be on my page and everyone can send it, but no pressure whatsoever. And I have no idea if people are commenting, so we'll see.
Oh my goodness, just kidding. Could you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm using my work laptop because I'm at my in-laws for the week. So yeah. I'm excited. Okay. So yes. So like Mel said, if you don't know me, I've been doing this business for 5 years already. I can't believe it. I feel like time has flown by. And I started this business when I was in law school. Now I'm a full-blown attorney. I work from home. I work anywhere from 7 and 8 hours a day. And since I work from home, I also have my baby at home with me. And I get to be a present mom in the sense that I'm home. And if I hear a cry, I can stop what I'm doing and go to him. But the reason why I say that is because Monate is what allowed me to open up that vision to see that that was even a possibility. Because before Monate, I used to think like, okay, I'm going to go to school. I'm going to graduate. I'm going to be the breadwinner. I'm going to make sure to retire my husband so he can take care of my future kids. And I will be driving to downtown LA, going to court, coming back, taking 2 hours driving and working all day. Like that was my mentality because that's what I was used to. And that's what I was told. That's what my mom did. And I figured that's going to happen to me and I'm going to do the same. So when Monate came into my life, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because it's part of the key takeaway from the event. And I needed the event because 5 years, that's to me, I'm like, that's a long time. And in those 5 years, like you're gonna have some setbacks, you're gonna have some good moments. And yesterday's event was like a reset, another relit fire. I feel like I was already like on it, but now it's like even more. Just to see everybody's key takeaway and how I can improve and how you can go back to basics and all that stuff. So it was a beautiful reminder of why I started the business, where I am today, 5 years now, and how my why has changed. So really quick, like a quick summary. It reset my mindset. And I think that's huge. I think we need to understand how mindset is key in this business. And that's something that I didn't have before this business. I was somebody that was very negative. I was very like direct. Like I've always been a go-getter and a dreamer, but I was very like, okay, it's just going to be this way. There's no other way. And that's it. And the mindset really matters. And Monate helped me with that. Monate helped me get my mindset in order where I was able to think outside the box. I was able to start leading with like gratitude, faith, and purpose in what I'm doing in my everyday life as like a mom. Well, now as a mom, but back then was as just as a wife, a daughter, a law school student back then. And now like a shampoo girly. And it's crazy to say like me, a shampoo girl, but yeah, that's what it is. And I own it because I love it. Like it's something that has given me purpose to do something else besides my everyday life. So yesterday reignited my why and made me think like, okay, it's changed a little bit, and that's okay because we're supposed to grow. If it is still the same, it's kind of like, okay, reflect. Why is it still the same, or did something change a little bit? So that's something huge. Something that I took away is how they all mentioned about grounding yourself and starting your day with gratitude and prayer. And it's literally taking it back to the basics. I remember when we first started this business, that's something that we were doing all the time. And it helps us ground ourselves so that way we can have a better day. Like praying over your business, praying over your girls, your clients, praying over your family, your day of what's going to happen. When I tend to do that just in my everyday like work, I always say like, God, please take care of me. Please make sure today's a good day. Whatever clients I talk to today, that I'm able to help them. If I have to deliver bad news, that at least I can end it with them understanding like what's next in regards to my personal like career. And then same thing goes for my business with this company. It's basically like help me pray over my girls that they have the confidence to believe in themselves, because that's something that you might not have when you first start, and you need somebody else to believe in you, and that portrays over. So starting each morning with gratitude and prayer is something huge that I was like, okay, thank you for the reminder. I need to get back to it. I do it like once a week, but I need to do it every day and make that a habit, because your day, if you start off positive, it's going to trickle down and be positive than negative. And before, I was a very negative person. So that's something that's changed me before Monday and after until this day. And it's from yesterday's reset. I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Let's take it back to the basics with that. Another key takeaway that I took is expecting to hit walls and just keep going. Something that I had trouble with in the beginning is the no's. And I think a lot of people do. It's those challenges and no's of like, it can like stop you from moving forward, or you get scared, or your confidence drops because somebody told you no. And reality is like, expect it. It's going to happen in everyday life. If you're always somebody that gets yes, then you probably don't have a hard life. And that's not good either, because then you don't build any character or anything with your personal person. So it's just knowing that that is normal in this business, and not just with clients, but with your teammates, your market partners. People may quit, clients may say no, and obstacles will come. Expect it. And it matters because that helps build your character, and it helps with the hard moments. So it doesn't shake you when it does happen. It just helps you grow. So that's something that I like too. But the best one that I liked was anchoring down on your why, like never losing sight of your why you started, like how it can change. And if it changes, that's fine, but talk about it, because your why is so key to sharing with others and sharing who you are, because somebody's not going to want to join you if they don't know who you are. It's an emotional thing as well. Clients, people that are looking at your social media, if they don't find you relatable, or if they don't find something that they click with you, they're not going to buy from you. They're not going to support you. So anchoring down on your why is huge, especially in this business and anything that's going to cause some type of struggle in your life to keep going and growing. So that's what made me think about, why did I start this business? What was my desire? Back then, it made me realize like, hey, with this company, I could be a present mom. I didn't have kids back then, but I figured it did change my mindset in I don't have to be the one working my butt off. Like I could have my career and like eat my cake too. I can have my career and be a present mom too. And that was 5 years ago. That was what I was praying for. 5 years today, I have that. Like I always tell my boss, who's a firm owner, she's a woman too, and she's a Latina, and she owns it's a corporation, it's a law firm. We're 6 attorneys, we have 50 employees, like we're huge. And that's something that I tell her, and she actually shouts me out all the time because of this company, and I always share nuggets with her. But I always say, like, I would have never negotiated my salary. I would have never negotiated my hours. I would have never negotiated what the terms of my current career is now if it wasn't for the confidence and the self development and everything that I learned from money. So that's something that I like to share when I share my why, because it did open up my mindset. And it's huge because I'm living the prayer that I asked for 5 years ago. I have my son who took me forever to have. I've had two miscarriages before I had my son. The girls were with me when I experienced my second miscarriage. I just had a recent miscarriage not too long ago in September, and I'm grateful. Like, I didn't break down this past time because I'm grateful for what I have. I'm present. I'm home. I have the privilege to have a nanny to take care of my son. I have the privilege to be able to help others to do the same. And that's another reason why I do this, because I went through years of school to be an attorney. Years, 7 to 8 years to get to where I am. I had to take multiple exams. I failed those exams. I had to retake them and not give up. I failed an exam 4 times before I actually got my license to become an attorney. And if I would have quit, where would I have been now? Like, that's insane to me. The fact that some people do quit, and your mindset is what's going to keep you here. Because if you do quit, you're never going to know what your potential was, or you're never going to know what's coming. So, anchoring down on your why and them giving me that refresher, I was like, yeah, I need to be sharing. I need to share this more because I know I can help more women in this business succeed and get to what they want to do, which majority, like all of my girls yesterday, I was thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, I could help this person and I can help this person, people that are already on my team and people that I have seen like as potentials. I know so many want to be present moms and they think it's not possible. And when you surround yourself with people who are doing it, your likelihood of getting there is so much higher than not. Just showing somebody that it's possible is huge for belief, mindset, and just like that motivation to keep going in this business. So that's another key takeaway that I got. The self-development, like I guess I would just want to like talk about self-development because that's huge in transforming your mindset, and that's going to transform your income and the people that you help as well with professional growth. The basics and being intentional is something else that I learned. Focusing on like milestones, even small wins are huge. If you get a market partner, celebrate it. That's a big deal. If you get a VIP, celebrate it. That's a big deal. Share it on your social media, share it with your team, stick to the fire because those celebrations, it's what's going to keep going. And that's how you're going to be succeeding and helping others as well. I know some of the girls are going to share about this, so I'm going to skip like the power of two and stuff. But I really, I guess my key takeaway is knowing your why and sharing it with others. Do not be afraid because you're essentially helping you, like another you, when they're like before you started. Like that is your niche. That's the person that you want to help. And at that point, when I first started, it was like I'm huge in the hustle culture and it's kind of a little bit toxic because I'm a workaholic. I love it though, but it's not healthy. Like it's very stressful. So I don't recommend it. But there is a lot of other me's out there. And if I can help them step away a few hours or just let them realize like, hey, you could be home or you could control your schedule and take 2 hours out of your day to be with your kid or teach him and homeschool him, like that's what I'm gonna do. So it just helped me like review that and start sharing. A closing message that I want to leave you guys with really quick is when they said this, it's like if it's meant to be, it will be. But if you quit, you will never know. And I was like, yeah, that's true. That's like right on point from what it is. But that's basically it for me. Those are my key takeaways.
So good. So hard to follow. I swear that was so inspiring. You made me cry. It's like I just love these calls so much, but I was like just hearing that and like seeing you grow, and I can't believe it's 5 freaking years, Jeanette. That did fly by. What the heck? But you're so inspiring to all of us, but even like your take on it and how much you've even transformed since then just makes me so emotional. I love this company so much, you guys, and sometimes I do get like in my head and just forget how good it is. And that is why these things are so important. These events, getting yourself at an event, no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how hard, There's one in Arizona. If you're in driving distance, get there, because it's just going to reset your mindset. And it's so important. If you don't have a means or a way of getting to one, then create one. Me and Maddie and Melody all did a live just last week, and I swear it like lit my fire so much more than I anticipated. And so it's like we just need to kind of like go back to the basics, remember why we did this, like Jeanette said. Them touching on the why, I got into like this funk where I'm like, don't talk about the why. Like I stopped talking about the why on the onboardings and stuff, because I don't know, it just like got so repetitive. But it's so true to focus on your why. And I drew this diagram. I don't think anybody else, why can I remember her name? Lindsay. Lindsay's the one that shared this, and she drew this chicken scratch diagram and shared it with all of us. But it's the why is in the middle, and this is usually how much we talk about it. We usually focus on the product, like knowledge, and sharing that on our social media, or sharing the business, or sharing this and sharing why. People don't need to know like all the details of the business. They need to know why you're doing it. It's so important for people to know why. And it's not just like you going on a live and sharing like, this is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing this. It's drawing the picture of why your why is so important. So for me, for instance, I used to do daycare. I was spread so thin. I was not able to be the present mom or the present wife that I wanted to be. So am I just going to keep talking about that and sharing that story over and over again? Yes. But also I'm going to keep showing that story. So you can either show what what you want your future to look like if you're in the beginning of your business, or you can share what your present looks like because of this business. So I have a reel on my page that I have pinned, and it's just me playing with Daisy, like reading Daisy a book, or laughing, giggling and tickling Daisy, and then me walking upstairs and doing a video with my team or something, showing people like what you have created with this business, or even what you're going to create with this business. And constantly, we used to call it's called like vision casting, constantly showing people like what you're going to do with your business, showing people what you have done with your business, giving them an idea of what your life looks like because of this business, or what you want your life to look like. Okay. Sharing exactly why and getting into the details. And you can show that in reel after reel after reel in different ways. Get creative with it. And carousels too. So they talked a lot about both of those, but we should be sharing our why more than we should be sharing about anything else. It's so important to show like the emotional side. And that was one of the quotes that I wrote down. Is one of the girls said, emotion brings motion. And so we can just get into this like constant, like, oh, I'm sharing all the ingredients, I'm sharing how the business works, I'm sharing this and this. Or you can constantly share the emotional side, share your backstory, share what you've been through. There's so many like hardworking freaking moms who are just wanting different lifestyles than they have, and then they could totally relate to you on what you've had in your past or what you're doing right now. If you're in that right now, you could be saying like, hey, this is what I'm doing now. I'm so tired of never seeing my husband. I'm so tired of this, but this is what I want my life to look like. And then share other stories too. And that's another thing that they talked about, is on their stories, third party sales. So if you're talking to somebody and you're not like going anywhere, or they keep ghosting you, or you just can't get them to bite, but they want the products or they want the business, it's always good to use a third party reel or a third party live, or sharing the sales, what is it called? The success stories. Okay. If you don't have it, message me either on Instagram or text me. I will send you the sales stories. There's like 5 of them. Krista Parney, a bunch of the big names are on those, and they're telling their whole story. And I share that a lot, but also sharing before and afters that aren't yours. People will trust you only so much, especially if it's like a new relationship, and they may not trust that you're telling the truth or that it's your story or whatever. So being able to use a third party is really good. The power of 2, one thing I know other people are going to share about the power of 2, but just getting people to know about this that are not just on your team. This is a selling point. So using the power of 2, which is 2 market partners and 8 VIPs. You want 1 market partner, 4 VIPs before the 15th. You can post on your stories, hey, who wants to make a $500 before the 15th and next month, right before Christmas. So using that as a selling tool to sell the business side is also going to be a really good thing with the power of two. We can utilize that. And then the last thing is I wrote down one of the quotes that they said, and this was Ivy, and she has just been like pushing her business fast and doing tons of reach outs. I know a lot of people don't even like the phrase cold messaging, and a lot of people refuse to do it or whatever. You don't have to do cold messaging to be in this business. But reaching out to somebody you know or somebody that you've been talking about and just saying, hey, I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing, if you've seen my page or anything like that, but I just want to know, have you ever tried Monate? It's such a simple question. And what Ivy said is you're not selling, you're sorting. Okay. So just reaching out with that one little phrase saying like, have you seen my page? I don't know if you've seen what I'm doing. It's such a it doesn't feel salesy to me. And it's something that I use all the time, but it gets the conversation going. Sometimes I get negative feedback. Sometimes I get an absolute no. Sometimes I get ghosted, and sometimes I haven't. I do have some hair issues, and it just gets the conversation going, or it gets them to look at my page and then they're looking at my reels. So it's such a good tool, and it's such a simple tool, and such a simple sentence to be able to break the ice on a lot of the relationships that you've been building. Like, hey, I don't know if you've seen what I've been doing. Have you ever tried it? You're not like, do you want it? Do you want money? Have you ever tried it? It's just such a simple question. And so you're not selling, but you're sorting. Is this somebody that you want to keep going after? Are they going to shut you down and ghost you? It's okay. Okay. But it really helps your business, helps you get organized, and helps you know who you can talk to. So that's what I want to end it on.
And I'll take it from there. Chrissy and I are very similar. If you guys don't know, if you're new, this is my sister. This is who I signed up under. I'm just going to start off by saying, all of these things that we're all sharing, I joined this business and knew none of them. When Chrissy and I joined, it will be 8 years. Well, her first, and then me after. I joined Black Friday. So that will be 8 years on Black Friday. And when I joined, I didn't know anything except for I tried the products. I would not be a market partner first. I was like, I'll be a VIP. And then she convinced me to be a market partner, and I didn't know what the heck I was doing, and I still joined. So I didn't have all of these emotional ties that everyone's like, I saw all everyone's stories. It was so new. It was not something that we were, discussing or being like, oh, they got the card. None of that happened. That all came later for me. So when everyone's saying the heart of the motion, when I actually got what this could be, and I was very hesitant. When I actually got what this could be, then I started allowing myself to dream a little bit, and I added emotion to my posting. And what pisses me off, what makes me mad, is I pulled away from that. And I went simply to Logic and CTAs and over again. And believe me, I got VIPs from education, but no one joining my team, because what I was duplicating and the blueprint that I was putting out there is education, education, education. And that's good for a purpose of people wanting to try the products. It's not good for someone saying, oh, I got to know everything before I join the team. That's not something that I can do. And so it's very discouraging for people to join your team. And so what Lindsay went on, and Lindsay Ortiz is one of my favorite educators. Her and Krista Parney are always hit things where I'm like, duh, I did that and I stepped away from it and I tried to do something new and I regret it and I will not go back to it. So the heart of storytelling, and this is really, really important. People don't buy what you sell, they buy what they understand. So if there's confusion behind it, they're not going to understand. What are you even selling? And one of them, I think it was Lex, mentioned only bringing up products that you use all the time and making it simple, okay? And then explaining the few things with that, but keeping it simple. So I always do Bond IQ now and IR Clinical still, and then I do the products just while getting ready. And this is a way you can go TikTok live too and explain the products and go through the products. And that convinces more than anything my VIPs to purchase all of those products. And that is revenue that you always want to be having, because if you're not signing up VIPs, but they're coming back and they're like, okay, I didn't know I need the product, but you just explained why I need the product in your stories, I'm buying. And it literally happens all the time. So important to have in your stories, authenticity. That's not right. but this doesn't sound right. So the goal is not to convince, it's to increase understanding and create a connection and offer hope. So what I was doing, which was wrong, is just join me, join me, join me, instead of offering hope and understanding on why I even did this in the first place and the motion behind it. Jeanette can go off of that like every single freaking day and she'd connect with another person. Listen, I have a full-time job, but I want to be full-time with my son, and I will do whatever it takes to make sure I can still provide at home, but I'm able to stay at home and be with him. And that's emotion. If Jeanette just said, I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but I work and this is what I do, you're not connected to it. There's no emotion. I tried for years. I went through heartbreak. And this is where I got to. This is my beautiful son. And this is where I am now, being able to hold him and make an income while I'm taking care of him. Emotion, hope, and understanding, all in that. So you have to think of what is yours. And you guys, this is duplicatable for every single person. It doesn't have to be at stay at home. It needs to be, what is your goal and the reason why you started in the first place? And that's what she really went back to. And that's what Jess, who was with us yesterday, she shared her why, and I'll share that in a minute. What made you, which is really important for every single person to write down. I did the same, and you need to do this every single day, or when you start getting discouraged, you need to go back to why you did this in the first place and truly ask yourself, what made me take this leap? Because I need to have emotion tied to that, and it can't be just like the products are great. I wanted to hang out with girls. Okay, that will hit a few, but that's not enough emotion for somebody to be attached to that and say, yeah, I'm joining you too. What's the emotion behind it? What finally gave you that push to make you join? Okay, you got to tie it to the beginning of it. Say, I said yes because, what was it? Okay, what has Monty done for you? So life, mindset, finances. Give an example. It's given me what? Blank. What is it giving you? I can say confidence, and I thought I was a confident person before I joined Monty. Like Jeanette, I can be very outspoken, and I have no problem telling the truth to anyone all the time. And this has really taught me that's not really necessary to do it all the time. Yes, certain people I still believe need it, but for the most part, it's just better to just be like, I am an open book. What you see is what you get. Usually people who don't like me really don't like the truth or don't like to hear the truth. I love to just speak my mind, and I love to do that in my way. Okay. Has it gotten me in trouble? Yes, of course. But I love to just share every single thing I'm going through. And not all, however, I will say, when you're putting stuff out, my marriage is something that I would never share. I will share. We have ups and downs, but to me, it's not something I'm putting out there for people to have an opinion on. That is always my entire life. Christina knows. You will never see Jeremy and I fight. If you do, it's got to be like a 20-day trip, and there's got to be something that's happening. Like that does not happen. Jeremy and I discuss our stuff together, and then we go out. So really, and to just be honest, we really do not fight. We've been together 24 years. You've pretty fought about everything there's to fight about. So besides that, and then personal stuff with my kids, okay? Personal struggles of theirs. That is not anyone's business for me to put that online. For friends, well, their freaking friends follow me on Instagram. So for the friends to go on and be like, you're going through this. And my boys don't prefer to be online. So anytime they're online, it's with music, and that's what they prefer. So I know I have limits, but to my life, I've shared my anxieties. I've shared my ups and downs. I've shared that I have had to take a break, and I've had to struggle through that, and what I've done to overcome that, and had emotional ties through that, because this is my life, and I choose to put it online. So what I shared in that, I can just share anxiety, right? But instead I can share, I've been through this, and what this actually caused is hair loss. And I used to go through this when I was postpartum. And these are the products that I used to help my scalp and keep my hair in my head. So I've started off raw, okay? These are the 3 products, if I was losing hair tomorrow, that I would start to get your scalp going and get your hair in order, so you're not going to lose it all. If I have anxiety, these are the 3 products that you absolutely need. Pills is number 1, okay? You need to take care of your scalp. Just simple things like that is telling people something that they connect with, and then your solution to helping them. So again, always tying some sort of emotion. Instagram is huge on that. surprisingly, TikTok is a little bit different, and I'm going to go into that in a little bit. I think I shared this already, but if I didn't already, emotion over logic, people remember how you made them feel. That is so important because when I first started, Chrissy and I didn't know what the freak we were doing, but we would go live and I would be emotion crying like, I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I want to be able to stay home. I don't want to miss games anymore. I want to be able to be there for my son's team. And I admit, if any sports, which sports are always on weekends, I'm going to miss them all. And so I wanted to do this to replace that income so I can say no to jobs. There's the connection. I'm sharing them a little bit of my why, and then I'm tying an emotion to it that another mother can relate with. So again, always tying your emotion to it. This could just simply be with your hair. I started because I'm balding. I'm losing my hair. It's coming out in clumps. I've had so much stress. And this is literally the only thing that has kept my hair in my head. And I stopped seeing all of my hair shedding on the bottom of the shower floor. Okay. Certain emotion, not dramatics, but emotions you need to share with it because it ties people in and people are like, okay, losing my hair, which majority of people still are. No joke, still to this day. Every single person that I work on their hair, every person is still losing so much hair. There's so much hair loss out there. It is the number one thing. Number two is hair damage. We have amazing lines for both of those things. So you're always providing a solution with it. You don't need to know everything. If Chrissy and I are the example of that, gosh, I didn't know how to do a dang thing. And I was signing up people left and right because I was sharing emotion and sharing my hair, not even knowing these are the products I use. And I don't even know what the freak they do, but they're working for me. And people would say, tell me more. Well, how are they working? So just getting and putting yourself out there and not risky or not getting like self-conscious that you're going to look stupid because you are. And you know what's the greatest part about that is people will relate to it because they don't feel like you're perfect and they have to be perfect. When you show perfection all the time and you don't show up in your stories or you're always perfect and every line and everything that you say is perfect, people think like, I can't do that. I mess up all the time. I can't be like you. So you need to be relatable in every single way. And the easiest thing about this is that's you. You don't have to be anything else. You can simply show up as yourself and not worry about anything else because that's who you are. Guys, I had the roughest day. I'm just speaking. I didn't have the roughest day. I had the roughest day and I went through all this and I did not even want to come on my stories and I didn't want to show my face, but I'm going to show you guys. I still read my Bible today. I prayed over my team and I made sure I kept my goal of talking to my team, talking to my friends, and getting myself on here. As messy as it is, I'm still going to show up. The downs, the highs, every single thing, you got to make sure you connect it all. Okay, where were you before? What were you struggling with? How did it make you feel? I posted this today. I was burned out and I barely was keeping up. That was one of the reels I posted today. And I'm not going to post that to TikTok because we're going to do TikTok differently. And I'm going to show you that right now. This is the last part. Invitation, end with hope and courage. Encouragement. We're not going to end with the CTA. And I was doing this all the time and it was not attracting people to my team. Okay. End with warmth, hope, and not pressure. So you can say something like this. If you've ever felt blank, if you've ever felt whatever you're talking about, I just want to let you know you're not alone. Okay. If this story speaks to you, I hope it gives you hope. So can you relate to this? If this is something you can relate to, my DMs are open for discussion. That is nothing. That is a open fist. Okay. That is just simply saying you're invited to come in and discuss this with me. TikTok now. And this one was shocking to me. And I feel like going on TikTok, you can see this. It's so obvious. I'm ashamed of myself for just going like whatever I post on Instagram, I post on TikTok. No, not at all. While you're on TikTok, you have to realize that your storytelling while teaching hair, scalp, mindset, but you're showing the problem first, then the solution and the benefits. Okay, and that's how it works. Share more related problems. And you have to share it immediately. These are 3 seconds, you guys. So Lex said, a picture of her before and after, and she has movement, and I'll explain that in a second. And she'll say, this was my hair when I was using salon products. I'm going to show you what I'm using now that got me these results. And then after, okay, I'm hooked. I've seen this actually multiple times, and some of them aren't Monat girls. So people are now copying us. I know they're stealing our products too and making it for their own stuff that aren't even Monat. That's a trend right now, which is just crazy, but that's how famous freaking Monat is. Okay, so show movement. I did this today. It seems so awkward and I don't know what to do with it, but it works because I watch the reels that show movement. They're fixing their phone and I'm like, I always, no joke, I'm always like, why didn't you cut that out? Because it shows movement every single time. And so today I fixed my phone as I was starting talking. So I was saying, I'm going to show you how to curl your hair in under a minute. That's it. And it just keeps people in for 3 seconds. It has to be at least 3 seconds. If it's 3 seconds, then TikTok's going to say, okay, I'm going to make your video notice to others. Now, this is important too, and this is Instagram and this is TikTok. You need to engage before you post. So you need to and authentically engage, not just like. You need to comment. And I know Jeanette has done this. I know a lot. Emily and I do this. I mean, I just did this to Crystal. I'll go to my page and I'll reply to everybody, but then you get to support in every single person as well. So I see everybody's posts, go on there and comment on them, but be real, watch their video, give them actual authentic looks. Like, what are they actually posting? Not just like, awesome, good for you. No, we're having a conversation. So literally go through and take 5 minutes before you post every single time. Every single time you could do that, 5 minutes, and then post. And so you do it on TikTok and you do it on Instagram as well. Those are both important. Show movement, hair shots, packing your bag. These are really, I asked ChatGPT, what are the videos that get the most moves or the most views with movements? So this is what they said. Moving your camera, that's what I did. And getting into your car. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen people get into their car and shut their door. That's like a start of every freaking TikTok video. And I'm always like, okay, what are you going to say? Okay, what are you talking about? Or they'll say, okay, unpopular opinion. And I'm hooked. I want to hear if I agree with your unpopular opinion. So certain things are really important just to get people on there. TikTok does not want pretty. It doesn't want pretty. It doesn't want music. That is Instagram. Okay. So do not go on there and put a pretty thing on there. It would be better for you to show up with no makeup. It'd be better for you to show getting ready. I'm going to get ready right now. Well, I'm going to tell you why I disagree with this. I'm going to get ready now while I tell you how I fix my hair from falling out. I'm going to get ready while I tell you how I don't wear extensions anymore. Anything like that is going to pull people in as long as your hook is good. Now, go to ChatGPT after this. Put in all the things that you constantly talk about. Your things that are your. Hold on one second. Your things that are your. What do you talk about all the time? Okay, so what are you talking about and sharing all the single time? What is your issues that you had? What were your issues before joining Monat? What was your hair issues? All of that stuff. Okay, I did used to use extensions and I wore them all the time. I remember anytime I would give my scalp a break because extensions really do hurt. And I'd take them out and I'd be like, well, we're going camping for a while, so I'll just take them out. And it would be like, you cut your hair. And I'd be like, yes, and it's going to magically grow back in a few weeks. You're not going to even know. But that's what I would do all the time because I hid my hair in extensions all the time because it was embarrassing to show my dry, brittle ends and be a hairstylist. It's the most embarrassing thing ever. And I would try to hide my hair. You can't hide your hair in a hat for forever. So I just showing that. This was my before, and when I would take out my extensions, and I'm a hairstylist, let me show you what I use to get rid of this problem. Let me show you what I use to be able to keep out my extensions permanently. Keep that going, whatever it is. Okay, this is what I did so I could wear my hair in a ponytail because I got rid of these bald spots. Anything like that is pulling people in. And again, it does not need to be perfect. And this is the greatest part that I didn't even realize, and TikTok does this, and this is a true blessing. You can be making evergreen content. So every time you make something, always save it, but you can be making money and people will be buying off of your TikTok shop from videos that were made months ago. Once someone pulls in, it keeps pulling it, and you will just keep making money off of that one video. And she said one video was thousands of dollars, and she posted it back in August. And she said she didn't start making income till now. So do not go on there with like, oh, I got nothing. You don't know what it could eventually end up to. And it could start off small and then it could go to crazy amounts. Okay. But the great thing about that is TikTok does that all the time. But again, only if you engage before and only if you're doing no music, talking, some movement. You have to have all of these things together. And I think that's it. Crystal, do you want to go next? And if we have anything else, we can add.
Yeah, I feel like you guys kind of touched on a lot of the stuff I wanted to share, but it's okay because I was going through my notes and I'm like, okay, let me think about some other things I can talk about. And I know Jeanette honed in on mindset, but I really liked Christiana talking about excuses. And I feel like this is very big in our business and we all have excuses, and I'm sure we all had excuses for the people that weren't there yesterday. And I'm not judging anybody's excuses, but at the end of the day, they made this very clear. If you treat this business like a business, you will be paid like a business. If you treat this business like a hobby and you show up here and there and then you don't and then you do, you're going to get paid like a hobby. Okay. But the good part about it is that you're in control of that. You are in control of what you want out of this business. And I'm at the point in my business to where I have all excuses too. We all have excuses. We all have bad days. We all have rough seasons. And I'm in one right now. And I know Chrissy can feel me having a toddler and a teenager. You're just all over the place all the time. Okay. And I just really loved how I think it was Krista that said this, and she's like, all the walls that you're hitting, whether it's the season you're in or whatever you're going through, all those walls you are hitting are preparing you for the future. Whether it's preparing you for your future leaders you're bringing in, for a future market partner that they're going to be going through maybe the season that you're in, it's preparing you because you can't go through rough seasons without learning something from it, without growing from it. And this is why mindset is so crucial in our business. But we need to use our excuses as our why, not the reason why we step away, right? Like, I'm in a rough season. My toddler is fighting naps. She's just swinging from chandeliers. It's chaos over here. Okay. But I have to shift my mindset and not use that as an excuse for me not to show up, but use that as an excuse for me to show up. Because guess what? It's a blessing that I'm here watching her swing from the chandeliers. Okay. And there's not a babysitter that I have to yell at for whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I get to be present. I get to be here. Right. So it's a shift in that mindset. It's that simple shift and really realizing that what we have is a gift. What we have is what a lot of women are looking for, but we aren't presenting it like Mel and like everybody else before me was presenting it, right? And I'm so guilty of this. We were talking about the bonuses and this and that, but we weren't talking about the emotion behind it, right? We're not talking about the other side of it, right? So I think that is crucial for every single one of us, whether you're years deep in this or you're just starting, right? And being proud of your story and where you're at, not only in your business, but in life. And the way you show up for your business, and I know Jeanette said this, your goals and your why is going to change. And it's going to change as your seasons of life change. And that's okay. But be vulnerable, share it, what you can, right? What you're comfortable with. But being able to be real with yourself and make that shift is going to be pivotal for this business. And I really like Christiana, a couple things she was saying too, like your excuses don't define you, and every breakdown is the beginning of your breakthrough. So we're going to have rough days in this business. We're going to have rough weeks, rough months, all the things, but something is more to come, right? It's easy to be like, I give up. This business sucks. Nobody wants my shampoo. I was actually just talking to my new market partner that's on here earlier, and I was telling her that my own sister, I've been in this almost 9 years, doesn't buy my dang shampoo. Okay. Like, but have I let that stop me? No. I kind of use it as a funny thing to kind of be like, oh, what do you think that fake, it's a fake Hot Wheels Cadillac in the driveway? Or what do you think? I'm going on all these fake passport trips. Like, I kind of use it as like to be funny, but kind of be a smart ass and kind of call her out on it. But it's like, I could easily use that as like, oh, my sister, she's like my best friend. She doesn't even want to buy my shampoo. What am I doing? You know, but it's that mindset shift that we have to have. We have to have it, right? So don't use the excuses, don't use the no's, don't use all that stuff to stop you in your business. You need to use those as stepping stones to grow in your business. And I know like every single one of us can hone in on mindset with this business, because your mindset is truly going to make you or break you in this business. And even though I know a lot of us, we are years in, there are many days when we want to quit. There are many days when we're like, forget it. I've been doing my 5-5-5 and I haven't got nothing. I'm done. But it's like, it's easy to quit. It's easy to take the road and be like, bye, but then what? Then I'm back in the salon 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, like missing my daughter swing from chandeliers and fight me for naps. Like, like what's the alternative, right? Choose your hard. Pick your battles. Stop with the excuses. Like, we all have them. What do you want from this business? What are you going to do with it? And share that. Share that with people. I'm so guilty of like forgetting that and just getting so caught up in the day, but it's the consistency that is going to take you to the next level. We can do all these videos and do all the things and do all the trainings and do the 5-5s, but for how long? Every single day. And like I said, it can be different in different seasons that you're in. There's some seasons where I do not want to show my face. My eyes are puffy. I'm emotional. It's whatever's going on. But guess what? We all have content that we can reshare. I have somebody else's story that I can reshare. Another big thing that they talked about yesterday was, and one of you guys talked about that, having the third tool, third person validation. This is why getting on calls like this or getting on trainings and hearing other people's stories and listening to other people's stories is huge, because then you can take that person's story or go to their page and find their story or their reel and send it to your friend that maybe is a nurse, that she can't relate to you, but maybe she can relate to this girl who is a nurse. That's kind of how what I've been using too for my business with people that I'm like have interested, but it's like they're not connecting with me, but it's like, send them something else. Send them a video of somebody else that's in a similar season that they are in, to really just help you. But start showing up, build that trust, build that rapport with your followers, but it has to be consistent. The excuses have got to go out the door, you guys. We all have them. We all have them, okay? But don't let your excuses stop you from your potential. And that was the big thing about yesterday, is to unleash your potential. This is an even playing field for every single one of us. Every single one of us can be $1 million earner. Every single one of us can be a Cadillac earner, a passport earner. And whatever your goals are in this business, there's nothing stopping you but yourself. You're letting excuses get in the way, and it's time to shut that and unleash your potential and just go for it, because you have nothing to lose. You truly have nothing to lose. And this is kind of where I'm at in the business, because I've been stuck in my head a lot lately. But yesterday was pivotal. And I'm telling you, if you're in a funk, get your butt to these businesses. Get your butt to these events. I know they're hard. I know they can be tough. I know sometimes you got to find a babysitter or this or that and change plans. My family was all out at a big Sunday fun day football thing yesterday, and I'm like, sorry, I'm not going. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to go, I wanted to be there, but I'm like, no, this is important to me. These events have got to be non-negotiables in our business. And this is why they told us about it. When did they tell us about it? Like months ago, right? They kind of put it out a couple months ago. I marked it on my calendar as soon as I saw the email coming out about it. And I knew I'm going to be at that event. If it's a corporate event, that has got to be non-negotiable, because these are when big things are happening. This is where the fire happens. This is where you get your fire reignited. And if you're not local to one, and this is the big thing I loved, where they said, make it, create it. Brittany Rose was the only person out here in California. She didn't have any of this, and she created it herself. She started having watch parties. She started having people come over. Do that. There's no excuses. Do that where you're at. I know it's better when you have friends and you can do this and that. Grab a friend and go, right? So that's kind of all I have. A lot of you, we all kind of touched on the same things and had a lot of the same takeaways. So I don't want to be repetitive on all that, but just sharing everything every single day with no excuses. That was my biggest kind of takeaway.
Yeah, I think it's just important to close and to remember that one thing, and Jeanette touched on it, and I want to do it again, to realize that God put you in this place for a reason. And she said, when do you feel like you want to quit? She said, I feel like it every day. My kid wasn't getting ready. I wasn't able to get it. I was getting stressed about this call, and I was like, that's it, I'm done. And I was like, that's great, because I seriously feel like that. I was literally like, you know what? This is really hard, God. This has been a really hard journey. Are you sure this was the path for me? Is it done for me? Are you done? And literally, then a person messaged me and they're like, I want to be your market partner. And I was like, okay, God, why do I keep messing with it? Clearly, you put me in this path every single time. When I miss Foundations, you guys, that was the biggest heartbreak. Jeremy, and I'm not joking, I try not to get emotional, but my team is Mexico. And so when they launched Mexico, I was so heartbroken. And then he was like, I didn't want to tell you because I knew it was going to hurt. And I was like, I just visioned myself being there. And I wanted to quit because I was like, why? It made no sense to me that of all the times I couldn't go there. And so I was angry and I was upset, and they launched all these products. The stylist thing, I didn't even hear for like weeks. And I was like, oh my God, there's a stylist program, because all I knew is the new countries we're in. And that was my focus. And I was so excited about it. But we can get caught up on the things that don't go right in our business, and we can make that the excuse as to why it's not for us. And we all do it. And we all do it. And guess what? What Krista Parney said is really just a John Maxwell quote that we did a training, and he would say all the stinking time. He'd say, everyone's going to hit a wall, but if you don't show people, if you don't hit that wall, then you can't show people and train people how to get through it. So every single thing that is your obstacle is something that you can take and learn and train to somebody else. And that's why we got to be sharing these things. We can't just be like, well, I was going through hard times, but I'm going to keep that to myself because I don't want anyone to know you go through hard times. No, we all go through it, and we all second guess ourselves. And that is all supposed to be there, because if this was rainbows and butterflies all the freaking time, then we'd say, this is easy. Anyone can do it. Dear Lord, Chrissy and I joined, and a month later, that whole scandal came out of Monty makes your hair fall out. And I was like, oh my God, of all the things for a hair company to be. And it was a lie from the beginning. And I did all my research. And then I was like, it's never made my hair fall out. Dear God, I'm using it on my daughter. And so you can easily see the things that people will put negative. It's great when someone says a DM to you, that's a scam, that's this, you're a phony, that makes your hair fall out, because that's an open door opportunity for you to address that. Think about that. You don't want to hide these things. You want to address them and be like, okay, now that's my wall that I need to get through right now. And I'm going to be able to go and take that to somebody else on my team who is going to hit the same wall. So look at every obstacle as an opportunity for you. It's just another path to get to the other side. You are going to keep going. And every single person that goes to the top also has symbols. They do not get any better. It just trains your mindset every single time to know, every time I move forward, I'm going to hit another wall. I'm going to hit another rock. Every single time that's going to happen for me, and prepare for it. So I wanted, before we get off, because Jess sent me what hers was, and I just want to read her why, because it was so beautiful to me. She said it pumped her up, and that was, you could see it all over her face. Pregnant, beautiful, all jazzed about yesterday, but I can see, you'll see it in my videos if you go back and look, she was on her phone because she reevaluated her why, because she has already been with this business for a while. She is changing everything. She's pregnant again, and her goal, I'll tell you right now, my why has always been to help my friends and family, and to one day be a stay-at-home mom. And here I am, and the season has finally begun. This is what marks a new chapter, and I'm completely trusting God. Lord, I pray that I would succeed in this journey, that I will grow, that I will rank up, and that I'll help other moms feel beautiful and confident and seen in every single tiny moment that we get to ourselves. I believe in myself. I believe what's impossible and my faith and hard work and anything that can happen. And I pray this all in Jesus' name. You guys, I prayed over my team this morning, which I admitted I have not been doing. And I used to do that all the time. Pray for your future potentials, the people in your DMs, the people that need your help besides Monet. Pray that this is what they are. They're literally, because that's what I was doing, you guys. I was literally going, I cannot do weddings anymore, God. Send me anything, please. I need anything else. I'm done with weddings. And then he was like, Monet, and I was like, okay, but not a direct sales. Send me something easier. Send me something that I'm good at, like a hairstylist thing. And he was like, how about Monet? How about Monet? And then I finally gave it a try. And then I realized it was exactly the thing I was praying for. But I was so stuck on where I thought I was going. I did not think it was it. So just like Krista Pardney said, trust that God knows your journey better than you. Just trust in that. He put you in here for a reason, in this group for a reason, and it's all meant to bring out all of your struggles, all of the things you've been through to get to the other side of it. And that's why God put you here. And never forget that. Anytime there's an obstacle or a thing that you're going through, talk about it and talk about how you're getting through it, guys. Start off your day with prayer, start off your day with the Lord, and then continue on that with who else can I help and who needs this? God, show me, I'm here to help them. Always be in this business to see who needs help. If you start off that, you'll always be successful. Who needs this more than me? Who was desperate like me? Who had this pain like I had? Who needs hope like I needed hope then? That's who I want to help. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, please let us know. I'll make sure there is nothing that I missed. All right. And I have a whole lineup too. I'm going to post in team chat. I'll give it to you too, Crystal and Chrissy, of how to post on TikTok and a few key points. It's a long list. It's like 14 things, but I went specific with ChatGPT and it gave me a lot of good info on what to post and really good hooks. And you guys can take little bits of that and make it your own and then start doing TikTok the right way and continue on and making Instagram pretty like we're already doing anyway, right? Also, don't forget to go live with people. If you see somebody on here and you want to go live and tell your story, absolutely recommend it. It's the biggest fire thing that you can do for your business, especially if you miss an event. Go live and get back to the motion of why you did this in the first place. All right. I love you guys. I love seeing you on here, Cynthia. Thank you guys for sharing. This was so good. And we will be doing this again soon. Okay.